Not you trying to be more American than the American.
Why are you faking your accent?
It's not even your country for real.
They so funny. They think if they play American enough, they will be
You're
American.
actually such a wannabe. Hi, wannabes, and welcome to Wannabe Americana, a podcast for outsiders by an outsider. I'm your host, Bianim Isibor. If you're new here, welcome. It's our first episode, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm so hyped. I'm so glad you're here. And I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about why I started Wannabe Americana. I was an international student, and I feel like there's so many struggles that international students go through that isn't known to everyone. And I know you're not supposed to oh my gosh, I'm going through a lot right now. Like, I know you're not supposed to do that, but I'm just saying, international students go through a lot of things mentally, physically, emotionally, and nobody really talks about it. I was on the plane this one time, and I met a couple of really cool guys on the plane, and we're talking about politics, but in a very, very friendly manner. And they were talking about who they were going to vote for. And, I was explaining to one of the guys, and I was like, I wouldn't vote for this one person because of the detriment it could cause to international students and the stress it could cause and the current stress is causing to international students right now. And he was like, wow, I didn't know that. And it's crazy to hear, him say that, because it's most people will never know what immigrants, international students, first gens are going through if they didn't have somebody who is directly connected to it. And I decided to create a podcast where you could find the information free of charge, always and anywhere. If you want to know what's going on, what, laws or policies could be detrimental to international students, you could find it here. Okay. So basically, this podcast is going to be where I share every single thing I wish I knew. Made some mistakes along the way, and I ended up having to go back home. And I mean, yes, it was emotional, whatever, but we all get over it. And if I didn't go home, I wouldn't be starting this podcast right now. I would be struggling and trying to scrape for scraps in America, So I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for, just the time I had there and everything I learned. So basically, this podcast is going to be everything I didn't do that you should do so you don't end up like me. Anyways, that's why I started this podcast. But let's get right into today's episode. Today's episode, we're talking about coming to America. But basically, everything to expect when you come here, everything that you're going to experience, the ups, the downs, the lows, and just preparing for the different types of people you're going to meet when you come here. Okay, so let's get right into it. I feel like for me, the most exciting part about coming to the US is definitely the prep session. Before coming, knowing parents have paid for tuition, you've paid for your ticket to come to the US, there's a date, everything is set, and you're ready to come. Your visa was approved, and boom, 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 boom. You are now on a plane to the US. I think that's the most exciting part. Traveling anywhere, to be honest, for me at least. And I mean, obviously, saying goodbye to friends is always a big thing, and saying goodbye to family is always a big thing. But luckily for me, I don't have a very emotional family, so it's okay, cool. We say our prayers, and just make us proud, and we love you, and boom, you're out of the country for a whole year. So that was kind of me. But I know that people are very emotional about those kind of things, and I was lucky enough to have my mom come with me, so I didn't really feel the effects of being alone for real until my mom left. When we got to school. But I feel it's okay to feel those emotions. So definitely feel those emotions and just embrace everything, y'all. This is a new journey for us, and it's so exciting, and I'm so happy, and everything is going great. But anywho, you touched down in the US, right? And there's a couple of things you should know before you do touchdown, and a couple of things that you should be prepared for. First things first is your accent is going to be a big deal. Only if you make it a big deal, right? For me, I made it a big deal. And I get it. If you decide to make it a big deal, I understand, because you're so nervous, you're in a new place, everybody speaks a different kind of way, and you're just there thinking are these people going to understand me, knowing damn well you've known English your whole life, which is absolutely insane. But but just how it makes you think and how it makes you process things, it's it does take a huge toll. Second thing you should know is you're going to be embarrassed. Okay, embarrassment should be out of your dictionary, baby. There's nothing that should be embarrassing. When you're going to a new place, moving to a new city, you don't know anything. You need to do the wrong thing and learn from those things and end up learning to do the right things. So you're not going to pronounce certain words the right way, and it's okay. When I first came, I used to say, oh, let's go and throw it inside a dustbin. And they would look at me like, girl, what is a dustbin? I'm like, yeah, the dustbin, what they're putting inside the rubbish. They're like, no, it's the trash. I'm like, ah, the trash. Period. You know. or, you know, in America they say the trunk of the car. And I would say, let's open the boots. Because that's what I call it about her. And they're like, what's the boot? And I'm like, it's the boots, the car. It's actually a trunk. Or let me look for another one. What's another like big one that I used to say? I used to say suitcases. Or would I say my box. And they'll be like, no, Bian, it's not box. Like box is like a container where you like put or store things in. Luggage is what you use to travel. Or traveling bag is what you use to travel. And I'm like, cool, 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 cool. So like these are a couple of things like, you just have to be like okay with like being embarrassed. Like it's not a big deal. It really isn't a big deal. Like you're going to get a couple of things wrong. And don't feel some type of way if somebody corrects you, depending on how the person says it. But I don't feel like anybody will like demean you because you said something the wrong way or you say a different way where you're from. But that's a couple of things to just like keep in your rear view when you're landing. Now, I do want to let you guys know that there are three types of people anywhere that you go to that you should be aware of. We have the people who stay trying to be culturally woke. These are the people who would be like, oh my gosh, where are you from? And you'd be like, oh, Nigeria. And be like, oh my gosh, Ghanaian jollof or Nigerian jollof, please. Please. There are also the people who would be like, bro, like you're from Nigeria? Like my cousin's brother is from Nigeria. And honestly, like I did the ancestry.com and I found out that I have like 1% Nigerian in me. So like, oh my gosh, my sisters. No, we're not. We are not, but like please do not be offended by these people. I think it's so cute that like, you're trying to like tap into my culture. I love it. But no thank you. Okay. The next group of people that we have are those who are just oblivious to other beings outside of the country. Like these are the people who would be like, oh, your English is so good. Like, how long have you been learning how to speak English? And you look at these people and be like, I spoke English my whole life. And be like, oh, I thought that was your second language. Like, what's your other language? The fuck? English, dummy. Like, but like honestly, I don't get offended by these people because it's like it's not their fault. Like they're just not well traveled or like well educated on like cultures and stuff like that. They're also the people who would be like, oh, do you see lions every day? Like, oh my gosh, you're from Africa. They're the people who be classifying all the states in Africa as Africa. Okay? They'd be like, oh my gosh, you're from Africa, girl. Like, do you see the lions every day? Like, do you see the elephants? And honestly, sometimes I would indulge them. I would be like, you know what? I do see the lions every day. I walk with the cheetahs in the morning. And the elephants, they spray me in the morning out of my terrace as like a quick bath. Because what kind of question are you asking me? What, what kind of question are you asking me? And I just want to set the record straight now. When people say Africa, if you're one of those people who be like, yeah, I'm African, congratulations. There's over like 50 states in Africa. Which one are you from? Like, be more specific in the question. Like, when you say, like, are you African? Yes, we're in Africa. Like, not every part of Africa has freaking animals just roaming around the cities. And I mean, like, honestly, in this age of 2019, we are too grown to be asking these kind of questions. We have Google now where they educate you on Africa, they educate you on Nigeria. We have artists who are stepping out and, showcasing our culture on our behalf. And we also have too many Netflix shows for you to be asking me these kind of questions. So, of course, I'm going to indulge you in the stupidity. Okay, so please, 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 please let us not. Thank you. The next group of people are the racist and the extremely judgmental people. And with these people, to be honest, there's nothing you can really do, right? But I will say, like, when it comes to these kind of people, like, don't immediately take victim and immediately start trying to, like, fight for yourself and be like, oh my gosh, he's being racist to me, he's being racist to me. Because you will now be called the sad international student or like the angry black woman. Like that's what it would give. I feel like sometimes I did experience racism, but like I never clocked it as racism because I'm like, I'm not going to indulge you and, you know, be a part of this vendetta you have to kind of make me look crazy. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to speak up for myself, and I'm going to let you know that what you're doing is trash and what you're doing doesn't make any sense. And I deserve to be respected the way you respect your other peers. Like I did that, and that was the most liberating thing I'd ever did in my life. Um, but with racists, the truth is like racist and judgmental people, like you really cannot win. Like honestly, do not waste your breath on these people. I went out of my way to, say shit because they were beginning to affect my mental health and they were beginning to affect my grades. So if they're not affecting you in any general way and they're just talking shit, let them talk. Honestly, I feel like if nobody's talking about you, then you're doing something wrong or your life is boring. But if they are, then period, like let them talk about you, like duh. Like as long as you know nothing is true, you know who you are, you know why you're here. Like I feel like that's really all that matters. So F them, to be honest. Now that we have that out of the bag, we're going to talk about a couple of other things that I do want to speak about, and that is just what it actually means to be coming to a new city, country, state, continent. Okay. And some of the unspoken things that usually happen, right? So, first thing I'm going to say is you are going to miss out on a lot of important events. You're not going to have the ability to watch your siblings grow up, and your parents are going to get older and older, and there's really nothing much you could do about it. And you know what? It is a lot, and the toll is very huge, especially like the mental toll it takes. Like knowing that you're going to miss out on all these important things that are going to be happening, and people aren't going to be the same as you left them, and you're always going to feel like a visitor when you come back home, whenever you do come back home. And it's okay to admit that. And I feel like we don't really speak about that a lot because like it's considered not a big deal. And I wanted to speak about it here because I think it's important and necessary to acknowledge it because it is heartbreaking sometimes. Like there had been times where I would come home and my baby sister had like grown a foot taller, or she was more articulate with her words, or she was just like evolving. And I'm like, when did you grow up this fast? Like, when did you change this fast? I mean, I did used to talk to my family like every other day over the phone, but like, honestly, it is not the same. Like, you cannot tell me nothing. Like, talking to family and just like being with them, being able to like feel what they feel, being able to, cuddle with them, hug them, just like snuggle with them and just like chat with them in the middle of the night together in flesh, like nothing will ever beat that. So let me clear it right now. Like talking over the phone is nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like, and honestly I think it hurts more like once you get off the phone and you're back to being alone. It is a lot, to be honest. Like it really is a lot. And I think how to handle this and like how to manage this is just mourning your old self, because I wish I had done this with me. And I learned how to do this from Vampire Diaries, like when Alina died and she was trying to like relive her human life, and they had to like celebrate her death of her old self. So I think if you follow those footsteps, like that would kind of like heal you a little bit, because what I mean mourn your old self is like you moved across the oceans, right? And things are different. Everything is changing, and you are trying to keep or remain in the bubble that you thought you were in before you left. And you're trying to like relive that portion of your life. You're trying to relive that portion of your life, but it's never going to be the same because every time you travel and you come back, a new thing has changed, something has evolved, and you need to be okay with the fact that things are changing. You're going to miss those events. You're going to, you know, lose contact with like your at home friends, or you're going to miss out on major events of their life. You're also going to miss out on major events, and you need to be okay with that. You need to mourn that. You need to first celebrate those moments that you had the opportunity to have with these people, and then be okay with the fact that you're not going to be there all the time to celebrate, and also like cry when certain things happen or certain events happen. And it's okay and it's fine. Okay. With the loneliness thing, which I know is such a huge thing with going abroad, I'm like, bro, like I have no one to talk to. I'm in this room all by myself. Like, what did I do? Why am I here? My family's back home. I just want to go back home. Like, literally, I would be crying to my mom like every other night, like, Mom, I want to come home. I don't like it here. I have no friends. I don't know why I did this to myself. I'm missing out on big events back home. All because what? I wanted to go to school here? Like, what are we even talking about? Please pay my tickets to come home because I'm done. I'm literally done. Right? And my mom be like, and I understand, like I get it. And I'm like, okay, girl, like if you get it, pay for my ticket to come home, please. I'm begging you. You know, I would tell my dad the same thing, and I would literally be crying to my dad. My dad is very like, I love him to death, but he's very like, so what is the plan? And like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm like, okay, what I want to do is that I want to come home. Okay. And he was like, no, Biani, like you can't let them see you weak. You can't give up now. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I was like, Dad, you know what? Like sometimes I want to be weak. I want to be a weak little girl and I just want to come home and have you give me a hug, slap some sense into me so I can come back. And like obviously my parents never listened to me because like they believe that I could do it. I just didn't know that I could do it until I had to believe it for myself. But like I understand the loneliness and I get it. And you know what? I just give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. I feel like the biggest thing with like coming to the US is like giving yourself grace and like that patience and that, that like optimism that like everything is going to be fine. Like there's a reason why you came here and you just have to stick it through to like see what could happen. Because I mean, the purpose of you coming to the US was to potentially change your life, right? I think that's why we all come to the US. Like we feel like, we're trying to get that American dream that everyone is always talking about. And it would be the best thing. Like you will literally even start to wonder like why did I ever say I wanted to leave the US? I promise you this 100% is going to work out. Everything is going to be fine. You are going to be fine. Okay? Don't even stress for real. And I know people are like, "Oh, my accent is so thick. I can't talk to people. I can't meet people. My English isn't that great." You know what? Instead of us talking about how bad our accents are and how it's such a burden to have a freaking gorgeous accent or not being able to speak English, those are the things that make us unique. Those are things that just, draw people to you. And the right people will be drawn to you, with your differences and your uniqueness. Okay? Like that excuse of, oh, my accent isn't that great, my English isn't that great. I promise you, you are in a space where all they speak is English. Your English is going to eventually get better. And if you want to like push yourself to like make it get better, you can start doing Duolingo and learning English every day. Learn a new word or watch like a bunch of Netflix shows or watch Friends because I mean, who doesn't learn English through Friends? But those are all like literally peripheral things. Like they do not matter that much. I promise you, speak with your accent, retain your accent, whatever. But that should not be a reason why you don't put yourself out there. Okay? Next thing I do want to speak about is things that you need to do while you're in the US. One of the things I will say is do not be so rigid in your culture, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be so rigid in your culture because let me tell you this. Your culture is something that will forever be yours. I mean, the purpose of you coming to the US is to explore this new culture, is to tap into this new life that everybody's talking about. Oh my gosh, the American dream, like coming to America, like tapping into that life, babes, tapping into it. And you cannot tap into that life if you are so rigid in your culture. The US is very different from so many places. Let me tell you that right now. Like, okay, so for me, where I'm from, we have this hustle energy. Like, we will find a way even if there's no way. We'll keep on pushing until something sticks. That is us, right? In the US, on the other hand, things are very lax. They get benefits, they get money given to them by the government. They're just like living life and like that's not how you are and that's okay. Like that is something that you could be like, okay, cool, like I'm going to stick with my hustle energy. If the government decides to give me money, cool. If they don't, cool. But like I'm not going to be lax because I've come to a place where things are lax. No, I'm going to push. I'm going to do what I'm here for. My parents paid this money. I'm going to put in the effort. I'm going to do my best regardless of whatever. If they say miss class, I mean in America, say classes are not that important. School is not that important. I mean school is not that important in general, but like I mean when your parents are paying thousands of dollars for you to come here, it better be important. Okay? it has to be important. So like they could be like, oh, you want to miss class? Like let's go. No, thank you. The money that I'm paying out here, like I'm not supposed to be missing any of these classes. Like those are boundaries that you set for yourself. That your values. Those are that this is who you are. These are the things that you can do, and these are the things that you can't do. So you're going to have people from different cultures, different places, and you need to be open and be willing to receive all these cultures and embrace these cultures the way you're hoping that other people will embrace your culture. You get what I'm saying? So let's just keep that in mind. Another thing I want you to set boundaries in is with your name. I know I've heard people say like, oh, when you're coming to the US, you should switch to your English name because it's easier for people to understand. And I honestly feel like that is honestly bullshit. Excuse my French, but honestly, I think that's what it is. Because why would you come to a new country? Like, let's say you've been called something your whole life for the past 18 years of your life, and all of a sudden, because you want to make people feel more comfortable, you switch your name. How are they making you feel more comfortable? And why do you have to change your name for them to feel more comfortable? I think that's one boundary you should set. Like, make sure people understand and say your name the right way. Don't just be like, Ore. Please, who is Ore? My name is Ore. It's really not that difficult. Or they'll call you Adzanar or Adamar. Or, I'm sorry. Or they be I'm trying to think of a name. I'm trying to Shh. Okay. Let me say Sheon or Sean. Like, in attendance, like they be trying to play you. Bro, they be trying to play you during attendance and be like, they would call me like Bani or Bianca. I said, excuse me, I'm present, but I do not know who Bianca is. It is Biani. It's like, can't I just call you B? No, you cannot. You are not that close to me to call me B, and that is not my name. Why would you call me B or Bianca or or Nini? Who is that? Who is that? Please, 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 please. Set that boundary. Have people like say your name by what it is called. Like if everybody calls you that, that is what you should be called. Period. Point blank. Period. And I feel like our names, especially international students, immigrants, that's what makes that is what makes us super unique. Because how many people do you see out here called Biani? Thank you. Okay. So let's stop trying to make people feel comfortable because our names are too complicated. It is not that complicated. If they say enough times, they'll figure it out. But don't get pissed or to get irritated when they spell it wrong. You just have to be like very, very like open to like teaching people how to pronounce your name continuously, and they will eventually get it. If they say it enough times, they will eventually get it. So yeah, you guys, like let's stop that. Let's get that thing where it's like let's just go with the English name because it's easier. No. No, 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 no. So yeah, I mean, I'm only speaking for the US because I only know about the US, but I'm definitely going to have people on podcasts. We're going to do a bunch of interview podcasts where I invite people from different countries, like the UK, Canada, Ireland, Germany, different places, because I mean, everyone is everywhere. And I honestly want to even like learn about these places and I want to hear all the tea. So like make sure you guys tune in. Okay. Make sure you follow the podcast so you guys can like get that information from different countries, wherever you may be, wherever you're listening to your podcast. Like, make sure you are, on your Zoom. Okay, don't miss out. But let me be real with y'all. I know I said a lot of stuff about the U.S., but I do want to, give her flowers, of course, because honestly, I feel like coming to U.S. was definitely the best experience of my life. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And it has taught me so much about so many things. Like it helped me build my confidence, it helped me be open to new cultures, it helped me to learn so much patience, it helped me to just evolve and become the person I am today, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I do want to also say, I feel like coming to the US is great. Okay, but I feel like we need to separate the dream from the actual reality. So the dream is like, there's so many opportunities in the US. That's why people go to the US. But there's so many realities that come with it, right? Like you have to understand the reality of feeling alone. You have to understand the reality of being so far away from family. You have to understand the reality that things are not always going to be great and you're not always going to have people to fall back on. You have to understand the reality that you need to learn how to be independent, because if you can't learn how to be independent, you're going to struggle so much while you're in the US, right? And, you know, the US is a place where there's so many opportunities. Like this place will have you thinking that you could do anything. Like, let me tell you this right now. The opportunities are endless. But like I feel like it is necessary to still be realistic and know that things are going to be hard. And as long as you can acknowledge that things are going to be hard and you are willing to accept that things are going to be hard, that's fine. And another thing, you have to understand that, as I said, nobody's going to be there. So, like, you also have to know who you are, like, know yourself as well. And my dad always says it's like, know yourself, no be abused, and it's okay. Like, if you don't think you're somebody who could live by themselves and live by yourself for a long period of time, you can't, like, stay away far, you can't stay away from family for a long period of time. Maybe traveling abroad isn't the best thing for you. And it's okay. You could try and recreate that reality somewhere else. And that's completely fine. If you don't feel like you're somebody who could, be independent for herself because, everything has been taken care of you for your whole life and you don't think you could do it, that's completely fine. I think it's necessary to also admit that, not everybody is supposed to go to the US. Not everyone is supposed to like travel abroad. Not everyone's supposed to leave home. And it's okay. Some people are lucky enough to, get signs from God where your visa gets denied to go to the US and maybe you try somewhere else and it works there. Or things don't just go how you thought they would go and you be thinking that, oh, the world's against you, like life is against you. But the truth is, like, maybe the universe and God is giving you signs that maybe this is not the place for you at this time. Maybe you need to grow, you need to develop yourself a little bit more before you like are mentally strong to head to the US, or you're mentally strong to head to wherever you're going to. And honestly, there's no shame in admitting that maybe this abroad thing is not for you. Let me just let you know now, there's no shame in it. It is okay. Because coming from somebody who's been there, done that, if anybody who is not ready to take on that emotional toll, I would not wish it upon my worst enemy if you're not ready to take on that emotional toll. Okay, so yeah, you guys, like that's really all I have for y'all today. I know I said a lot about a lot today, but I do want to hear your favorite bits of this episode. I want you to leave a review if you can, and just let me know your favorite bits of this episode. But the truth is, I really do love America, and I will be there if I can as soon as possible. Yeah, so but anyways, leave your favorite bits of the episode, by leaving a review for us. And who knows, maybe we'll give you a shout out in the next episode or just have a conversation about your review and what you want to say to us and what you want to get off your chest. Okay? Because I know we got a lot to get off our chest. Also, don't forget to follow us on IG at Wannabe Americana for some BTS and also tidbits that we'll be leaving here and there on there. You know what I'm saying? Also, you guys, if you do want to share your wannabe story, like your experiences coming to the US and everything, you just want to share. You just want to talk shit about people. This is the podcast for that. So make sure you send us an email at hi I wanna be Americana, or send us a DM, baby girl or baby boy. Okay. Talk soon, wannabes. Bye.